Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well. I'm having to man mark the hell out of this one. If I get a flipping here we go after this is uploaded, I swear I'm suing. I swear. Oh, an Ornstein dagger, mate. I'm not playing. Yeah, I'm not playing. But like I say, this is why we do double uploads. Don't worry, I'll be here later tonight. So make sure, yeah, so I'm keeping track on this one. I'm literally, you know when you've got a, you're trying to mark someone and you have to kind of be ahead of them, right? But you've got your arm like kind of there, like he's still there, yeah? I'm just going to have to hold on to you just to know you're still there. I'm going to have to do this because flipping out, I don't want anything coming out after this. Anyway, we got big news. Things are kicking off. We're about to get into it. Go and check out the videos from yesterday if you haven't done so already. Without further ado, I think we dive right in. It's looking like a very good day for Chelsea Football Club. Bloody hell, it's kicking off. Let's start. Here it is. So, understand Chelsea are advancing in talks with Xavi Simons on personal terms. Xavi keen on the move and open to joining Chelsea. Direct talks in progress to agree contract details and terms. Chelsea want to be fast ahead of club-to-club talks with Leipzig. On top of this, we have... There's more. Ben Jacobs. Chelsea are close to agreeing personal terms with Xavi Simons ahead of talks with Leipzig. Simons open to Chelsea and is more broadly prioritising a Premier League move. It's possible Chukwuemeka is raised in any discussions with Chelsea seeking a permanent exit. Chukwuemeka hasn't yet held any talks with Leipzig and remains keen on a return to Dortmund. However, Dortmund want to do a loan with a buy option which Chelsea are yet to sanction. Nah, Dortmund. Dortmund, we've had enough of you lot playing games. Yeah? All you lot are loaners. Loan. Malfunctioning. Get out with your malfunctioning loan system and let us do business with people that actually want to buy, please. Yeah? You lot have dragged that on long enough. We're done. No more. Finito. Not doing business again. Honestly. Dortmund... As much as I appreciate like Dortmund for the way that their club, the way they do things, I like Dortmund. But with us, enough. Anyway, there's more. We're going to get back to Chukwuemeka in a sec. Here's more. Florian Plettenberg, Chelsea and Xavi Simons are getting closer. As revealed last night, a verbal agreement is near. Personal terms are not an issue as Xavi's open to the Chelsea project. Very good talks also took place with RB Leipzig yesterday, with more scheduled to today. Now RB are waiting for an offer. Leipzig are simultaneously working on a deal for Chukwuemeka. So this is where today... well, at least later on in the day, we started getting a little bit more information coming in and starting to looking like things are solidifying. So we've got the secret scout saying Xavi Simons will become a Chelsea player. He's certain. And secret scout, to be fair play to him, doesn't talk nonsense. Talks not very often, but says things of substance. Fair play to him. Now, Fabrizio went on to clarify more. Negotiations between Chelsea and Simons are going well. Chelsea are going fast. They are going fast. Xavi Simons, club to club very soon. Chelsea working fast and working quick. Good relations between the clubs. Discussing salary with Simons. Any moment now, personal terms could be done. It's all... Look, when personal terms are done, that's it. It's finished. It's finished. At that point, get the clubs involved. Boom. Done deal. Thank you very much. Leipzig are open and willing to sell him. This isn't going to be a hard deal to do. But let's bring it back to Chukwuemeka because I said there was more on him. So here it is. Chelsea position on Chukwuemeka remains clear as revealed 2 days ago. Only permanent sale. Borussia Dortmund have only offered a loan so far and RB Leipzig are now also keen on the deal. As this journalist, and to be fair to him, he spoke yesterday, Philipp Hinze, right, of Sky Sports in Germany, and Florian Plettenberg reported more talks to follow. Dortmund, game over, lads. Game over. See you later. See you later, man. That's it. And big up Leipzig. I didn't expect this one. I didn't think they would come in for Chukwuemeka. I did not see that one coming. But that sorts us out, and it sorts them out. Because they're similar players. Xavi Simons is better. But Chukwuemeka, and we see how he plays as an attacking midfielder. He can play off the left-hand side, kind of. It's very similar. Although, like, I think Xavi Simons is more flexible and can actually offer more, he's a little bit ahead. For Leipzig, a player that doesn't want to stay, now they're going to compensate that by bringing in a player that is similar profile, but will be willing to play and will be willing to stay. I think that's good business for both clubs, even for Leipzig. And let's see what Leipzig can actually get out of Chukwuemeka, because I think we all had kind of high hopes for Chukwuemeka, at least to an extent, not obviously expecting the world. But Chukwuemeka was a player who, when given the opportunity, looked like there was something there. And then he got injured, and then he just never came back into the team. It's a bit unfortunate. But for us, this would be a good deal. And for Leipzig, if they take Chukwuemeka, that will help us financially. That will help them with a replacement. That will help us sanction the Simons deal. It's a win-win-win-win-win. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, Xavi Simons, looking like that's about to happen. Like I said yesterday, I was pretty confident now this is going to get over the line. I don't see how this one falls through. It would be miraculous if it fell through. I think it's going to happen. No one else is now chasing either. This is all looking good. Xavi Simons to Chelsea. I think we're going to get confirmation very soon. Maybe tonight. I would predict by tomorrow, I think we get Here We Goes. I think we get David Ornstein with a dagger. I think we get everything. By tomorrow is my prediction. So we'll see. Now, with Simons coming in, with Chukwuemeka heading out, there's also other things happening. This is where, and I'd like to think on both fronts, when talking about Simons and when talking about Hato, we're getting an overlap. And what's the overlap? It's like, I don't mean to do this flipping intentionally, by the way. Flipping Arsenal fans are going to get gassed me seeing this. They're going, oh my God, look, he done the Gyökeres. Get out of here. Anyway, there's an overlap. What's the overlap? We are timing things at the same moment where we're heading players out of the door as well. Like, Christopher Nkunku's exit from Chelsea this summer remains almost guaranteed. Nkunku wants to play more, with several top clubs keen in the background. Chelsea are open to selling him since January. More contact will follow soon. So just as we get in Xavi Simons, now the talk about Nkunku heading out is speeding up. And just like we've heard about Renato Vega heading out, we are now getting this heading in. Exclusive! Chelsea have now made official club-to-club contact with Ajax for João Hato as next top priority. Hato understood to be keen on the move and already prepared to accept personal terms at Chelsea. Negotiations ongoing with very good relationship between the clubs. This is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This, you see, the way things are moving now, Chelsea are doing things properly. I'm really, really relieved, and I'm happy to see that Chelsea are now doing business that makes sense. And not business just for flipping. Business for, we need those signings. We need these players. Beautiful. We're upping the levels now. We're starting to do things seriously. We're starting to do things properly. We're getting rid of the players that we shouldn't have gotten in the first place, but we're about to make a turnover from them, so fair enough. But now we are getting players in that we can actually see add structure to the squad, and that we can actually look, if we're talking about long-term, we can actually look long-term with these guys, you know, properly. So I'm very, very glad. With Hato now looking like he's going to be heading to Chelsea, this is going to be perfect. It's like I've already mentioned on here, with Cucurella as the main left-back at 27 years old, Hato as the second backup left-back to him at 19 years old. This will be perfect, and he's at a very good level in terms of Ajax, Young Player of the Year in the Dutch League. We've got he's played Champions League extensively. He's played at the top flight level, at least in Holland, for his age and what he has done. It's very, very good. And I think now he arrives at Chelsea knowing that he's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot of time though, and things do work in his favour in terms of a pathway, because Cucurella is 27, like I've said, and Cucurella is the main guy at the moment, but there will be games and minutes for him to play because we're in 4 comps, including the Champions League, which he's familiar in. With the league phase and now more games, it's unlike the old format, we do need some rotation, and Hato, I think, will be able to provide us with a good level. So the problem we had last season with the Conference League, and thankfully it was just the Conference League, but when we get Cucurella, all these guys to rest, we turn to who else we got, and we're like, oh my God, like flipping out. It's not great, is it? With Hato, you know you're getting a decent level and a decent standard anyway. You know, you'll be fine. Hato's on the pitch, cool. Cucurella's resting, nice. We're covered. We're actually covered. We're good. That's going to be the reassurance that this squad has needed for a while and that we're looking to actually bring in now. And Hato, I think, will be a very good addition. But on top of this, there's more. Check this. One detail I can add is that Chelsea and Ajax have great relations. And there could be room to discuss more players, like young Chelsea players going on loan there. Ajax are famous for developing talents. I agree with this, to be fair. This would be really good. You see, in the same way we use, well, not use, I don't want to say use, that sounds bad. But we use Strasbourg, right? They're our second team. We can only send so much on loan there. We've only got 3 loan spots. We can now, if we have good relationships with a club like Ajax, when it comes to this sort of thing, I don't think you could get a better club. Send players that you want to send out for development, send them to Ajax. It's true, there is no better place. Some would say maybe Barcelona. But Barcelona are huge. You can't just throw loans at Barca and go, yeah, they're going to get minutes. At Ajax, they're actually going to play. It's the best place to try and nurture young talent and players that do need some development and players that will be able to get decent minutes at a very good standard and in one of the best schools in world football, basically. So I'm glad if there's good relations here, we should utilize that. You know, some of the players that we've got that we're looking to maybe send out on a loan, whether, for example, I mean, Achiempong is an interesting one. For example, who else? We've got young players at Chelsea. I've got one player in mind. Tyreek George. That's the one. Mate, Tyreek George. Give him one whole season at Ajax. I think that would bang. I think that would bang. For his development, I think that is class. You know what I mean? Ajax, did they hang on, I've got to check this. Where did Ajax finish in the league last year? Did they win it? Or I'm curious as to whether they won the league title or did they not? Let me check. The Eredivisie 24-25. Oh no, they finished second. But did they get Champions League? How? PSV? PSV won the league. How's that happened? What? Fair enough. But Feyenoord are in third, but Ajax are playing Champions League football, so that's cool. Right, fair play. PSV won it. Flipping out. Oh, they won it by a point as well. Ajax losing out. But anyway, it looks like they bottled it, to be fair. PSV won the league. Ajax Champions League. So yeah, Ajax own the Champions League. That would be great. That would be fantastic. So let's see what happens on that front. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But Hato to Chelsea, looking like it's happening too. Perfect. Now, more on the outgoings. Let's talk about these lot. Players who will go. Nkunku, Broja, Felix, Sterling. Also a concrete chance for Nicholas Jackson to go. They will focus on outgoing soon. Fabrizio keeps mentioning Nicholas Jackson here. And like I've said before, I'm not against him going, but I do want to make sure we're covered in terms of the strikers. I do want to make sure that we get good money too. And I don't really, if we're getting Simons, now I don't want Garnacho in. There's no point. There's just no point. Just give us straight cash, please. That would be much more beneficial to us. You know what I mean? Unless there's a plan here that we're not aware of, which I can't think of. I said yesterday, maybe what? Are we gonna, if we bring in Garnacho, are we going to use him as a right winger because he's not playing on the left? So he can forget it. I don't know. Maybe that's the plan. I have no idea. For this, I genuinely don't know. So let's see. But all those players heading out the door, it's going to generate a lot of money, I think. And we do need to get those done. And we should get that done pretty soon. And talking about one of them, here's the latest on João Felix. João Felix is very close to confirming his return to Benfica, says Record Portugal. The deal is close to being finalised for 25 million euros for half of the Portuguese international's transfer fee. And is expected to be done by Friday. This is weird, because yesterday we were hearing that we wanted 50 million euros for him. What's happened? But again, this is Record Portugal. But then again, when it comes to Portuguese stuff, they're pretty on the money, kind of. They're very 50-50. They've had good moments and they've had bad moments. They had good moments with Enzo. They had a bad moment with Ugarte. They had a good moment with Gyökeres lately. You know, it's very... We'll see. But 25 million euros? To be fair, that fee makes a lot more sense. But will Chelsea do that for that money? It's a little less than what I thought we would end up getting. But anyway, let's see. Let's see what happens. We'll keep our tabs on that one. There's another player who could be heading out of the door. And some of you might feel indifferent about this. Here it is. Fulham interested in Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, exploring loan or a permanent deal. I know that Dewsbury Hall has kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? He's managed to pull at some of your heartstrings, hasn't he? He's gone up in terms of rank, should I say, for a lot of you. Personally, I'm going to be real. I don't want to get sentimental. I want to see a level. And I think we're stacked in terms of midfield. I think we're also stacked in terms of attacking midfield. I think we've got enough players to cover positions where he normally plays. I don't think there's space for him anymore. I'll be real. When you look at our midfield, Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia, Santos, who is now here, and even Esugo, and that's the sort of player that you could say maybe might compete with Dewsbury Hall. If you go to attacking midfield, where we've seen him play prior, okay, Cole Palmer, Esteval Willian, and Xavi Simons now coming into Chelsea. Plus, we already know Pedro Neto, if necessary, can also play there. There's no space for Dewsbury Hall. He's not going to play. He's just, with the signings that we're making and that we've made, there's João Pedro as well, someone you can tuck in deep. There's no space. It's not like last season. There was space because we were playing Conference League football. Now, as much as I give him plaudits, I say fair play to Dewsbury Hall. He did end up playing better towards the end of the season and at the Club World Cup than how he did when he started. Big time. I give that. But I don't think he's now fit for purpose any longer. It's one of those unfortunate things, you know? I think he's been a professional. I think he's been good. I think he's been serious. Put his head down. He's a very good worker, very good hard worker. But levels are levels. And it's like I've said, look, are we trying to win the Premier League or not? You know, are we trying to go all the way or not? And now we're making some very good signings. And we're making some very good movements. We're playing Champions League. I think now there's no space. That's me. So I think we might as well try and make some money. It's as simple as that. So Dewsbury Hall, let's see. Fulham interested? Loan? Permanent? To be fair, I wouldn't be against a loan. I wouldn't be against a loan, and we can also see what happens on that one. But I think that is something that could also help increase his value. So let's see. But if we were to sell him, I won't lose any sleep. And I would say thank you. And I would say, you know what, fair play. You've actually been somewhat decent compared to what I initially thought at the very beginning. But we are now upping the levels around here. And we have to. So do you want to up the levels or do you want to be sentimental? I want to up the levels, please. It's as simple as that. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know yours. What do you think down in the comment section below? Much appreciated. Now, let's talk about one certain player before we wrap up. Here's latest on Rodrigo. Liverpool, according to Florian Plettenberg, understand that not only Liverpool, but also Paris Saint-Germain are closely monitoring Rodrigo's situation. PSG have expressed their interest and continue to look out for a new young top winger. As revealed, their approach will depend on market opportunities. PSG, listen, the enemy of my enemy is my friend at this point, yeah? I would rather you take Rodrigo and you stop Liverpool getting him. Please, that would be fantastic. You lot can get this done? Then, merci beaucoup. C'est très gentil. That's it. I would say, please go and get this player just so Liverpool don't end up with him. Because look, if Liverpool end up with him, we're going to have a Liverpool with Rodrigo, Salah, Verts, Ekitike. That's mad. That whole setup is a bit mad for my liking anyway. So I would say PSG were to get him, that's not anything that we don't really expect. Cool. Cool. And even what are they going to do with Rodrigo? What, they're going to play him on the left? Who's playing then? Kvaratskhelia or Rodrigo? Okay, is it on the right? Okay, who's playing? Rodrigo or Desiree Doué? You know, they got their own problems there. Cool, do that. I got no issues with that. I mean, look, we beat PSG as they are at the moment. They bring in Rodrigo, I think we can still beat them. I mean, we're now, you know, we're giving chess, so we're living in a good place. But Liverpool over an entire season, getting Rodrigo is a lot more dangerous than having to play PSG maybe once or twice in the Champions League and having to deal with Rodrigo in isolation. I would rather that happens. So, and look, to be fair, they're talking about market opportunities here. PSG, I think, will be the sort of club to pay that sort of salary, no problem. We saw yesterday, he is going to be in the region of about £350,000 a week. Total to 400. He's on 350k a week now, as it is roughly. We're talking what he's about to get net. Gross, he's on that. You're going to have to give him 400. Gross. I mean, that's mad. He wants 200k a week net. That's something that, as good as the player is, I would flip and love Rodrigo. But you got to be realistic here. That sort of salary is a bit mad. Yeah, it's a bit mad. We have other opportunities to get other players here, such as Xavi Simons. I think we can live without Rodrigo in that case. But PSG, do your thing. Do your thing, guys. Do your thing. I know PSG don't really have an FFP issue. Or at least PSR. So they ain't really got that in France. So they'll be more flexible to do that sort of thing. Now, let me know your thoughts. Who would you rather see get Rodrigo? PSG or Liverpool? Now, do you remember yesterday when I said that Tottenham apparently are in for Rodrigo? And if that's the case, then I'm going to be running for Prime Minister. Yeah? Pigs will fly before that happens. Well, turns out, yes, pigs will fly before that happens, because here's the latest. Rumours linking Rodrigo with Tottenham Hotspur are wide off the mark. He is not a target for Spurs, says Florian Plettenberg. Case closed. Anyway, case closed. Listen, what did you expect? Did you actually think Tottenham were moving for Rodrigo? Like I said, hell would have to freeze over for that to happen. There's no way. And like I said, unless Daniel Levy woke up from a coma, he clearly hasn't. They won't. It's Tottenham. It's Tottenham we're talking about here, yeah? Chill, Rodrigo. Have a day off. Anyway, good to get some clarity. That is very, very, very false and not happening. Cool. So I'm not going to become the Prime Minister, just to let you know. I've got a few of you saying you'd vote for me. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I will never get into it. You best believe I will never be a politician. Hell no. Because to do that, you got to be a liar. You got to be fake. You got to be a crook. Or you get eaten alive. So that's just any advice for anyone looking to get into politics. Good luck. But anyway, that's the latest on Rodrigo. Now, to wrap up with Liverpool, here's the latest on Luis Diaz. Bayern Munich set to make an improved offer for Luis Diaz and are prepared to pay up to 80 million euros. Liverpool's rejected a 67.5 million euro bid, but Bayern remain intent on testing Liverpool's not-for-sale stance. So he's not for sale. I don't really know what's going on here with Luis Diaz. Like, is he for sale? Is he not? Are you selling? Are you not? Have you got a price for him properly? Have you not? What's the deal? Maybe it seems like maybe they're not intent on selling. But if they get a certain amount, then they're gonna have to say, you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. We can't say no to it, mate. Because of the business that they're doing, I think they have to balance some of the books. So it does kind of make sense on that front. Perhaps maybe that's what Liverpool are doing or thinking. But yeah, it's like I said prior, I was going to be shocked anyway if Luis Diaz does leave. But now with the signings that they've made, I wouldn't be so shocked just to generate some money. But then are they going to use that to try and get Rodrigo? I mean, that's an upgrade, don't get me wrong, but man, Liverpool in this sort of business, it's a very rare thing, isn't it? We don't normally see Liverpool do this sort of thing. So fair play, fair play. But Luis Diaz, Bayern Munich, that remains to be seen. We'll give that one some time and see what happens. Luis Diaz, I think, will thrive, irrespective. I think he's got his spot at Liverpool. I think if he went to Bayern Munich, he'll have his spot there. I don't think anything changes for Luis Diaz. And I've said before, and this is, again, it's an unfortunate circumstance. I don't want to use this as someone's advantage, but Diogo Jota is not in the team anymore. And it does mean, logically, that Luis Diaz on that left-hand side, there's no one else. He's got his place. He's got his place. But do Liverpool need to make money? Maybe they do. So we'll see. But let me know your thoughts on that one. Where do you think he will end up? Much appreciated. And I will see all of you later tonight for video number 2. I hope when you get this, there hasn't been a flipping bomber or something. Let's wait and see what happens. Anyway, I'll see you lot tonight to address if there is. I'll catch you then. Subscribe, notification bell on. See you tonight. Take care and peace.